Hey, welcome to day 74 of my spiritual journal with me, with your soul sister, Iona. So if you want to journal with me, today is what I call Environmental Freedom Thursdays for intentional living, for spiritual business owners who want that business success without being busy, doing busy work, being broke, or experiencing burnout. So today, if you are new to me, I'm going to use my spiritual journal, and it's called the Soul Legacy Journal. Spiritual awakening, so 365 days of your spiritual awakening story, and I call it a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers, because as I went through my spiritual awakening and my dark night of the soul, I wanted to find something that really worked for me, that I could use every single day to navigate my life and my spiritual business success. And so I used journaling, and I used also my spiritual vision board. And if you are new to me, then you'll find my spiritual vision board challenge. I have a 7-day challenge breaking down each area of your life and kind of putting it back together again in the way that feels really great to you, to support you in launching, leading, and leaving your soul legacy in what I call ease, grace, and flow. So you can have that balance in your light work and your lifestyle. So I'll leave that in the comments, in the pinned comments, and in the description, and also in the cards on this video after I go live. So good morning, Robin. Good morning. How you doing, love? So Robin now is here with us on the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast in live. So thank you, Robin, for joining me. So it is environmental freedom, what I call Environmental Freedom Thursday. Is one of my 7 freedoms that I focus on every single day on the Soul Legacy TV. So I have 7 freedoms, meaning 7 areas of your life where we focus on to have that success, and actually focus and see what area of your life that you'd want to improve, that you want to grow in, and personally, professionally, spiritually. And so the 7 areas are Contribution Freedom Monday, how you want to contribute in the world, how you really want to make a difference, again, in your light work and your lifestyle. So in your lifestyle, to your family, to your friends, how you want to actually show up, how you want to leave your legacy and leave your mark in the world by doing really great things. Contributing. Health freedom is massive. Like, without your health, you kind of don't really have a lot, right? Emotional freedom, which was yesterday, talking about your emotions, clearing your emotions. Your emotions are the thing that that you're emanating, that will support you in your thoughts, your feelings, and your habits, how you're actually showing up in life and what you actually experience through your emotions, all the things. We talk about that really deeply. Environment, which is today, environmental freedom, your freedom to work the way that you want to, in the environments that you want to work, and in the places that you want to travel to, the places that you want to be, the people that you want to be around, all those things. We talk about supporting your spiritual business success. Relationships is a really big one, obviously. Relationships with your soul clients, relationships, soul family, soul tribe, having that freedom, and spirituality, that connectedness. It's just bringing that into all areas of your life as well. And then finances as well, because we do need our finances in the spiritual business, and a lot of spiritual business owners have money blocks. And so when you have those money blocks, meaning not appreciating money, not having money come to you, not having money flow in and out of your world, then it's a problem. It's a problem because you have less choices. And so that's what we're going to focus on. I have the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, which we do in the visible world as well as in the vibrational world here on the Soul Legacy TV. On this episode, at the end, I'm going to give you a vibrational money voucher and actually challenge you to bank 50K in 50 days vibrationally with me. And then if you want to do it and build a spiritual business model in the physical, then I have the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass. So I'll leave all of the information in the comments for you to check it out, for you to register for the Masterclass live. And so that's one of the environments that I wanted to be in. I wanted to clone myself and automate my spiritual business so that I didn't have to be there. So you'll click that button whenever. I could be sleeping, I could be traveling. After this live, wherever I am, you're able to schedule that in, come and see me live, and then, see if what I have, my gifts, are actually a soul match for you. It's a 4-hour free training. There's a free chapter that comes with it. There's a free VIP day. because I really wanted to be in service. So I'm going to talk about that more. So Robin is our lead soul guided instructor for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, and also the SoulLegacyAcademy.com. So if you are new to me, if you're new to Robin, then I would consider subscribing to Robin's channel, because as I do this spiritual journal, Robin does an energy healing, like my nose is itching, energy healing lifestyle journal as well, and talking about any kind of blockages in your body or your energy field that need clearing, because we bring in from past lives energy, things, karma, things that need clearing, and then as we experience life, having the experiences, then stuff stays with us. So Robin will help you with that inside stuff, the energy stuff, I would say, and to help clear those thoughts and those beliefs that are blocking you in any area of your life where you're working in an environment that you don't really want to work in, you're in a relationship that you don't really want to be in, you're in, you know, eating foods that you don't really want to be eating, a sleep pattern, anything that's blocking you, like having fear around really wanting to do your work and taking that jump into a new environment, something like YouTube. So I'll support you in building your spiritual business around your YouTube channel and automating it, and build around launching your #1 best-selling book. And you know, all those things can be scary. You can have layers. So we use the Soul Legacy journal, excuse me, and the energy healing lifestyle journal in tandem, and they go really, really well together. So on the Soul Legacy TV, you'll get clarity, and with on Robin's channel, you'll get the clearing, right? So you have a vision for the way that you want your life to look and feel. And when you go through a dark night of the soul or a spiritual awakening, there's so much that changes, and life doesn't look and feel the same. And the environments that we're in, we might not feel as comfortable as what we were in. So Robin will support you in that. So Robin says, thank you for the shout out. You're welcome, love. Thank you. And Robin also has a 5-day money blocks clearing challenge, and she calls it a self-love journey to financial freedom, because it's not just about the money, it's about that loving you enough to choose that self-love, enough to put yourself in environments where you really want to be, right? Where you're working and you're thriving and you're doing what you really want to do in the world, and it's not based on anything other than that's what you love to do. So Robin says her rating is an 8 today, and that's the same as the adjustment rating last week, 10 to 8. So Robin says, so yours was 10 last week, or it's 8 today, or it was 10 and then it went to 8? When I ask the questions, let me know. Just clarify that, and I'll share with you how we do our rating for the spiritual journal. So during this spiritual journal and the environmental freedom episode, what I will do is I've taken notes, and I'll talk about the quote for the day. I'll talk about we've talked about the chakras. So Robin's on the Energy Healing TV, it is Heart Chakra Healing Thursdays, and Robin does a rating based on how blocked or clear your chakras are, so she'll explain that. So my the Heart Chakra Energy Thursdays is a 10, and it was the same as last week. My Emotional Freedom Thursday, my rating is an 11. I'll share more about the rating. It's just a quick check-in with, if you're not able to fully journal, it's a quick way to check in with how you're doing with your environments and how your energy is doing. So I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the book. The book for today is Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. That is just an amazing book by Bob Proctor. I'm going to give you the quote in the day in just a second. I'm going to pull this card from Keepers of the Light, or a card from Keepers of the Light, and Bad Calgary. And my crystal for today is quartz crystal, and that stands for just to raise your vibration. Anything that's going to raise your vibration, you use. Rose quartz, matters of the heart, calming, friction in relationships of all kinds. Now that's pretty beautiful. Calming friction in relationships of all times. And sometimes we're in relationships and we put ourselves in environments or stay in environments that we don't really want to be in. For me, I wanted to change the vision for my life and the environment that I wanted to be in, and that meant I had to switch out the vision for the relationship that I was in and call in a new vision for a relationship so that I could build my life the way that I wanted to with my person. So that's been interesting for me. When I was with my ex-husband and I was in environment and I was homeless and I was going through a messy divorce and bankruptcy and all the things, relationships are one of the things that really influenced my environment deeply. So then I'm going to talk about gratitude, then I'm going to give you the challenge. All right, so let's dive into, so think about keeping your heart open for heart chakra healing Thursdays. So Robin will support you in that, because when your heart is open, you make choices from that soul guidance. So Robin's is, hang on. Robin says, thank you for the shout. You're welcome, love. Robin says, yes, I started 10 last week, but then with more reflection on the details dipped. Okay, thank you. To 8. Yay for 10 for heart chakra energy. Yeah, thank you. So we get with more reflection dipped. Now, so Robin knows, if you've been through my spiritual vision board challenge, you'll know this. But if you haven't, or if you're in the SoulLegacyAcademy.com, I have a 2-hour monthly coaching call on the 7 freedoms, and I'll support you in that light work and lifestyle balance. And so you'll know this deeper, so we can take it further and take it deeper and understand the rating. So let me share with you the rating of each of the 7 freedoms on the Soul Legacy TV. So Robin said that she started at a 10 and she dipped to an 8. And so, Robin, if that's happened twice, let me remind you again and remind anyone who's new, who hasn't done the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge. So if you're familiar with a wheel of life, if you've ever done coaching or been coached, you might be familiar with the wheel of life. And this wheel of life, you rate life, break down your life into similar areas to what the 7 freedoms are, right? And then you rate how fulfilled you feel in your life, and it would be a 1 to 10. That's written. The difference with, and I think that's what you've done, Robin, with that. If it's happened twice, like I've rated and then I've dipped, this is the real difference between the Soul Legacy wheel and the wheel of life. The wheel of life is looking at the world through humanness, with a humanness lens. So Robin knows this because I say looking at the world through the lens of your soul, right? So you're not pushed and pulled by the world. And I know that you say, Robin, looking at the world through the eyes of source. So that's the difference. So on the Vision Board Challenge, I'll talk about, and in the middle of my wheel, the Soul Legacy wheel for launching, leading, and leaving your soul's legacy with ease, grace, and flow, is the visible world, right? So imagine what is going on in your world, all the environments, all the people, all the places, all the things, all the humanness that's going on, all the things that have manifested right now in your now reality, not being pulled and sucked into. So initially we do our rating when we do the vision board, then we set your vision for how you want the life to look and feel, and then it's almost like we not completely ignore the physical because we want to be present in the physical, but we don't let this now reality determine our vibrational frequency. And I talk about that on the Spiritual Bridge YouTubers Masterclass. And that's why I do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge in this way, in 2 parts. Do it in the physical and we do it in the vibrational. And when you do it in the vibrational, you don't have the physical. You don't have to have the physical to change in order to feel high vibe about your finances, right? So so we rate initially, then we set a vision for where it is that you want to go. And so our frequency, I'll say on money, so I'll say on environment because it's environmental freedom. I have traveling the world, doing our retreat in Thailand, and traveling, living in a barn conversion, all the things, right? Am I doing it right now in this now moment? No. So if I looked at my physical, like you said, in reflection, we don't rate it a 0 because 1, we're breathing, right? And I would be grateful. I'd rate this then environment that I live in at a 1 because I'm not there. I'm not traveling right now. I'm not in living in a barn conversion, but that's what I want to experience. So if I looked at my physical, I would rate a 1. I'm not there. That then brings us into the lower vibrations, which means that in order for my barn conversion, in order for, before it manifests, for it to manifest, I've got to feel on the vibrational wavelength of that manifestation. So that means I can't have my head down into this looking in the and being pushed and pulled by the physical, because I'd always be at 1 and I would be pushing that manifestation and that vision away from me. So the idea of going beyond what people say is the law of attraction, things are attracting to me, I want this thing, it will come. We dive into the law of vibration, which means that you emit that frequency, you enjoy it, and you bask in the energy of that vision that you have on your spiritual vision board. We've got to do the spiritual vision board challenge again. I do it annually, live on the second week of December at 7:30 p.m. UK time. So if you want to join me for that, then you can, annually. So what we do is we focus on the law of vibration, and what the law of vibration, instead of that, like, this will attract to me, you emit that frequency, then it attracts, but you emit the frequency first. That's where the difference in people go, law of attraction doesn't work, all they focus on this. No, you're vibrating, your energy, your vibration, your, for it to manifest. So for me, for my Thailand retreat, for our Thailand retreat, because Robin and I will host it together, for my band conversion, I've set the vision and I'm allowing the steps to that to fill in. So the way that we rate, we say from 1 to 11, and 11 is the gateway that goes through the 10, where we've got that spiritual awareness. So 10 is like that. On the Soul Legacy wheel, it has a dark rim around where you've gone through the dark night of the soul. And you're following your North Star, you're in alignment with your higher self, your values, and you're progressing towards that. And you are looking at the world now through that's after the dark night of the soul, that spiritual awakening, that spiritual ascension, and that spiritual alchemy. And you're looking at the world with the lens of your soul. So you know that whatever is happening in your environment, in your physical, is for you. So therefore, it doesn't then feel low vibe. It feels like that's the thing that I needed in order for me to progress. You're not watching the physical as in, shit, I'm going to be in this environment forever. I'm never going to get out of this house. I'm never going to travel. I don't have the money to travel. I don't have the time to travel. I don't have the freedom to travel. I don't have all the people on the retreat. I've no blah, 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 humanness. Right? So that is not going to manifest in my world if I sit in that space. So the idea of written between a 1 and 11 is more so as how in alignment am I in with my values, my vision, and my vibration of the nudges, the synchronicities, and my own vibration, my own action towards that, my habits, my daily rituals and routines supporting me. So if I dip, I'm like, that is because I didn't do what I need to do to show up, speak out, and serve deep, or I didn't do what I needed to do or that I said that I was going to do in alignment with that vision, in alignment with being the person that manifests that vision of my retreat in Thailand or my barn conversion. Absolutely am I doing all of those things. So my vibration is at an 11, boom, hands down, dip. If I then have made the commitment to me and I'm not being the version of me in any way, then I dip. Apart from that, I'm high freaking vibing, baby, because I know I've got a level of appreciation, and we'll talk about the gratitude. And I know you talk about gratitude as well. So does that make sense, Robin? Hopefully that makes sense, of because I'm going to do the vision board challenge again. In order for you to manifest, then it's about keeping your vibration high and doing the things. So if in reflection, not obviously for you, Robin, but if in reflection, if you're watching this on the replay, in reflection, that what is the reflection, the dip, and knowing that how to pivot. So the reason why I say the intentional living codes, I call this the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency. So the acronym for the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency is all of the things I focus on: contribution, health, emotion, environment, relationship, spiritual, and financial freedom. That's an acronym for me vibrating at that frequency in harmony with my soul and my spirit and my soul guidance, regardless of what is going on in my physical, because the physical will catch up when we're vibrating at a new place. But until we're vibrating at that new place, the physical isn't going to change. Does that make sense? So high freaking vibing, baby. Yes, high vibing, baby. It makes sense. Does that make sense? So when we do the spiritual vision book, it's a long time since we've done it, so I will do it again. So that's why I invite you to really go beyond just the physical, because when we get caught up in the physical, that guess what we attract more of the same, because we're being that. We can only be at the level of whatever that is, and chaos sometimes unfolds in our life when we're going through the spiritual awakening and the spiritual ascension. And if we focus on the chaos, we're going to get more chaos. It's like a shedding of our old vibration. It's a shedding of our old selves to allow for that new version. And sometimes it's painful, and that's why we use our spiritual journal to have a conversation with ourselves and our higher selves and the version of ourselves that we want to be. And I always ask, like, what would Iona be doing if it is already done? It's done. In my mind, it's done. So if it was already done, what conversation would I be having with myself and with others? And those are the conversations that I want to be having now. So I'm soul speaking into existence. Feels really weird at first, but in order for it to manifest, that's how it works. I didn't make it up. That's how the universal laws work. Underneath the law of attraction is the law of vibration. So I invite you all to read a book that's every single day. Read a book, listen to a book, listen on Audible book. Excuse me, I listen to what? Excuse me. I think I'm going to have a coffee fit. Get excited. I'm actually going to take a second. All right. Yeah, get a book, and the book that I have is Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. It is life changing. So the quote for today is, and it's live, right? There's no editing. I don't do editing. I, like, if I was in front of you, you're in front of me, I coughed. So what? You know, you're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. It's beautiful. Thank you for asking. So, and the quote for today is, be brave, take risks, nothing can substitute experience. This is a quote by Paulo Coelho, who wrote the book The Alchemist. Be brave, take risks, nothing can substitute experiences. Sometimes when we create a vision for our life, we literally expect it to manifest like yesterday. It's like, dude, you didn't even create the vision yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, it's not hurrying up, it's not being fast enough, and that's when we feel the dip. Instead of what I say in the Soul Legacy Academy, we want to be launching our day, leading our day, and leaving our day with ease, grace, and flow, no matter what. It's not the journey, it's not the thing, it's not the bank 50k in 50 days, it's not any of those things. It's about bringing all of those freedoms and the feeling of freedom every day, because we don't even know how long we've got. I always say, you know, my granny was, my mum's mum was in the Caribbean dancing on the dance floor, right? It was actually in the home on her 100th birthday drinking rum. I see that vision for me, not in a home, in my own home, dancing, right? On my own damn dance floor. You know, at 100, I'm going to be 49 this year. And I set that vision when I had that vision when I was about 40. So the last 9 years. So for me, like, every day matters. I don't waste a day. Like, every single day, the high vibe comes from me breathing. I've had a lot of losses in my life. So, yeah. All right. So that, be brave, take risks. Nothing can substitute experiences. Again, a quote by Paulo Coelho. So I get that from my Momentum app every single day. There's a little quote when I open my laptop, open my Mac, and that's the experience that I have that's the environment that I want to work in. That's the environment. It has a beautiful picture of around the world. I have my links and I have my to-dos, and that's what I start my work environment, so I can be the best version of me. And every day I'll share it on the Soul Legacy TV, because it's somebody else's words, somebody else's thoughts, somebody else's energy that's interjecting in mine, like a pattern interrupt of like the habitual thoughts. And the book that I'm going to talk about, the book, and then I'm going to pull the card for Change Your Life. Bob Proctor's Change Your Life, because that goes in hand with that. Robin says the dip is also the contrast that helps creates rockets of desire, though, right? Yeah, it is. And it's not excuse me. And we have 1 to 11 for the dip, and I do dip, and I dipped last week. Last week it was the same, it was 11. And so we allow for the dips, and through intentional living, we're living in alignment with our values and our vision and our vibration. And there's the soul funk versus soul flow, and when you're in soul funk, you're doing the rockets. But if you're so the reason why I was saying to you, Robin, and anyone else, is your initial was 10, and it's dipped twice now. So I want to make sure that you're not rating in alignment with what the wheel of life is rating, and you're rating it within the soul legacy wheel. Because the soul legacy wheel is about your energy and your vibration, and you being the version of you now, and doing all that you can do, rather than, well, I didn't do this and I didn't do this. And it's that appreciation and that gratitude for where you are along the journey, and the signs, the synchronicities, and the things that are filling in to alter that environment. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever environment that made you dip on reflection. So it's there's my energy. Oh shit, I've looked at the physical. It's not where I want to be. I'm going to give myself an 8. That's what I felt like. That I'm just checking in that it's not that. Because if I did that with my 11 right now, honestly, and I looked at my vision and I was like, I would absolutely go to a 0. Not 0, sorry, I'd absolutely go to a 1. I felt it go down like really fast. I would go to a 1. So I checked in and looked right now at my physical with all the things, with launching the Spiritual British YouTubers Network, with all the things. I'm feeling that way. I paused. We had like 1,200 members in the Facebook group. In that environment, I wanted to switch out of that environment and create a new environment. So people are just sitting in that environment. I'm like, I'm done with that. Like, I don't resonate with the whole meta and the vision of that. So I switched environment. I don't have a community away from that, and building that on YouTube. So if I looked in my environment, in my thinkific side, and it's like, do you know what, where's everybody at? I would be at 1. Do you get what I mean? But I'm not. I'm showing up as the version of me and building that community and trusting. There's a level of trust and faith, and the vibration is love and freedom and empowerment and joy, right? That's a higher vibration. The lower vibration is fear and grief and guilt and blah, blah, worry and all the things. If I was worried about it, worried that it wouldn't manifest, then I've gone down. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully that helps. Are you okay? Do you need a drink? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. There's a real massive delay. I noticed that with Jennifer yesterday. Massive delay. Yeah, I'm okay, thank you, love. I appreciate that. It's live, right? And I can hear myself getting really excited, like that. I don't believe in the power of editing. Maybe I should, but I feel like it's raw and real. And I could envision myself like having to end and just run off. Do you know what I mean? But I'm here and I'm good. So let's talk about Bob Proctor with the Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. So every day on the Soul Legacy TV, whether sometimes I'll listen to a chapter, sometimes I'll listen to 5 minutes, sometimes I'll listen to a minute, sometimes I'll just listen to a book as I'm working, sometimes I'll listen to my Abraham Hicks playlist. Excuse me. In every moment I'll do what I need to do, but without fail I'll listen to a book or something that fuels my life. Now I'm doing this Soul Legacy journal, so I still listen to a book that represents that I've chosen until I get to the end of that book. It doesn't matter how long it takes me to listen to that book. With the Atomic Habits, it's the 3rd time listening for this Soul Legacy Journal process. So the Bob Proctor's Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. And the session was session 1. So I've already listened. This is the second time, I think, or maybe the third time of listening to this in the last few weeks. It's about the implementation and not just another book. Books change lives. They honestly do. I love it. Excuse me. So this was developing awareness of your awesome power to change, session 1. So I took some notes. Let me know if you know of this book, or if you know of it through me. If you have Audible, I don't think we have a playlist for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network for the book playlist, that any books that I recommend, and there's a recommended reading list within Think of Excite, within the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network community. So if you attend the masterclass, you'll get automatic access to the community. And you'll see it says books, and it says the reading list of all of these 7 freedoms, and you can add your book so we know a book that you like as well. So basically, change your paradigm, change your life. They were talking about society and leaders and changing environments of companies. So for us, it's business. And sometimes people spend money or thought and energy and time on changing systems and buildings and things. And often we don't spend as much time thinking of changing the person rather than the external. So for environment, when we think of environmental freedom, it starts within. What you are experiencing on the outside in your life, you're manifesting, is what is you're experiencing on the inside, right? Your thoughts and your beliefs around that they're running the show. And your habits, excuse me. So Bob Proctor says, say if you focused on a hotel, right? You think, oh, this is a fabulous hotel. It's doing really well. It's doing really great. It's one of the best hotels in the world. If you took the people out of the hotel, it would just be stuff. So he said, you focus on the people, you focus on the individual. So if you want your company to change, you focus on you and your attitude. So if you want your business to change, you focus on you and your attitude. That spiritual business success comes through you. It's not coming through anything else other than you, right? So you being the best version of you and growing using this Soul Legacy Journal, this spiritual journaling process, and the 7 freedoms ultimately helps you grow, right? And so he says, like, to do a better job, you want to find out what people want, right? And so I liken that to what I talk about on the masterclass, is finding your stat, your soul tribe avatar profile persona, excuse me, the people that you want to serve, and finding out about what they want you to serve them with, how you're showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. As I talked about the multiple streams of income from Andrea Lee, the book, she says your services and your soul clients, or your clients, she said, but I say soul clients, your soul tribe, the connection is that barbell in between. And it's finding out what people want and connecting that, right? So he says you've got to find out what they want, who they are, what they're searching for, and who they are, where they are, what they want, and talk to them about actually having that relationship with them. So really it's the relationship with you. So he ends part of this chapter by saying that your paradigm, that the paradigm is basically the way that a person thinks habitually. So your paradigm comes down to, if you want to know what's going on in your subconscious, is your daily habits. And so on Contribution Freedom Monday, we talk about the book. I listened to the book Atomic Habits, like changing your habits, tiny habits in your daily rituals and routines to actually manifest and be the version of you. Change your paradigm, change your life means that when you change your paradigm, you'll see the habits that you have will be for you. They'll be supporting you rather than taking you away from what you want to experience, the memories, the experiences that you want to have in your life, in your environment. It will be supporting you. So are your habits, write down in your Soul Legacy journal, your spiritual journal, how your habits are supporting you. Do you need to adjust any habits? So when we think of freedom, environmental freedom, think of the environment, your immediate environment, your home, your community, locally, nationally, internationally, universally, in the universe, that guidance. What's your energy like, and how connected are you? Do you want to work globally? Do you want to be in the environments? Are you hanging out environments where you want to be in? So there's so many social media platforms where and environments that you could be in. I'm like, dude, I just don't resonate with being on the socials all the time. It's just not me anymore. And it was always for business anyway. For me, I don't have time for me. I don't like the superficial chats about nothing. And that's just not me as an empath. I feel I could absorb people's energies. So I just know that I want to put myself in environments that feel really good. And I want to have that freedom to choose of the environment that I'm in every single day. And so the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge is about allowing you and me to have that spiritual business success, so that we get to decide how we spend our 24 hours, and we're not overstretching ourselves, and we're not putting ourselves in environments that we don't want to be in because we have to have the money, because we have to we feel obligated, because we have our obligations in the world and our commitments, don't get me wrong. I was talking to a friend. I was saying I went out on a date yesterday. The date was really lovely in a nice environment. It's actually in the place where my dog works. So we switched environments and went to there. It was really, really lovely. Excuse me. It's middle of the day, and I could have chosen to work, but I chose to take the day off to have that freedom to put myself in a different environment, go out for the evening. It was really, really lovely, and it was an environment that was just calm and just really, really nice. And knowing that I have the freedom to be able to do that is massive. And not everybody has that freedom, and I haven't had that freedom. I'm giving myself that freedom. My life has altered in that way of, I want to have, so I talk about it's Relationship Freedom Friday on tomorrow, spiritual dating, and I'm on this journey, and I want to share as I'm going on that spiritual dating experience, because I know that a lot of people that come into my world want to manifest their life partner, and through whatever reason, the life partner is not showing up in their environment. So for whatever reason, they don't trust that it will come. Do you know what I mean? And for me, so I'm on the dating apps. So I have one person in my inbox, um, on both of the Bumble and on Hinge actually. And I went on a date yesterday, which I was surprised to learn that I was the only one in his inbox. So that was really nice. But I want to develop a dating app for the spicy. My second channel is spiritual dating, awaken soulmates, marriage CV. The dating journey that I'm on is about being married and building a life with my partner. So again, my environment doesn't look like I've got my dude with me. It doesn't look like my bank conversion. And if I say for Relationship Freedom Friday, if I looked at that now and I said, do I know where that date's going to go? Just be friends, just be whatever. I would be like, oh gosh, I don't have my dude, I don't have my blah blah blah. I've danced with my husband on so many occasions. The universe will fill it in. But in order for me to manifest my soulmate and my husband, I have to be willing to put myself out there, go through the motions, learn about me, what I want, what other people want, what they desire. And so I was having a conversation about environments, because we don't live in the same environment. We traveled really far, like almost a couple of hours for the day. I'm like, oops. But that there's beauty in that, and I believe that everybody meets for a reason. But that would mean a change of environment for that to then to happen. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you just want to be open, because you just don't know, like if your soulmate or what have you, or your soul clients, if you're working locally, you don't know what magic can happen. My soulmate might be in Canada. I've got a thing for Canada. But without the technology, without having the internet and that to move in different environments, to meet people, then we have to have that level of appreciation. That for me, yes, the dating apps are not that great. They're a little bit weird, I'm not even gonna lie. And that's why I want to create an environment to hold space for soulmates and hold space for people, a very conscious man, which is beautiful, and I'm attracting more conscious men, which is really nice. And I want to create an environment for spiritual YouTubers to build a business, build a life, and to build and make a difference in the world. And so that's the environment that I wanted to create. It wasn't an environment on Facebook. I had to alter that. So does my environment look at right now my life and my work and my relationship and where I live and all the things, and my health? My health is really good, actually. I'm really, really excited about it. Um, and my finances, do all of those look? Well, no, because I wouldn't be doing this Soul Legacy journal, and I wouldn't be doing a vision board to manifest the things that I see on my vision board. And we're always up leveling, we're always wanting to have new experience. So are you always going to be in the place that you want to be and then just be stagnant? I don't invite that into my life. I want to be growing. So every year I will do the spiritual vision board challenge, because we're up leveling and we're growing. We're always going to be in this kind of state of growing and up leveling. While we're growing and up leveling, do we want to be low vibing? I don't. I don't. So I use my spiritual journal to have a conversation with myself, to say, hey, let's have some gratitude and some appreciation for the journey, because we're always learning, always growing, always up leveling. And in that journey, energy's moving, in that journey, there's an appreciation and a joy and a happiness. And I was talking, obviously, when you speak to somebody new, you rehash where you've been, blah blah blah, and the losses and stuff in my life and where I stand. And I said, my son made his transition 7 years ago. That's a relationship that I absolutely want to have in my life right now. Do I have that? No. And if I focus on that, would I be at the lowest vibration? Absolutely. I don't focus on what you don't have, you focus on what you do have, and then building and expanding on that. So we'll talk about the gratitude in a second. Let me do the card for today. Robin says, I'm so happy you gave yourself that time. Thank you. Yeah, I do. I work long hours. And in that time, I work out, I read, I have my baths. My baths are great for me. I run, I walk in nature, run in nature, have conversations with people that I want to have conversations with, spend a lot of time with my daughter. I've got a really, really beautiful bond with her. Still got a bond with my son. It's, although he's made his transition. And I'm very intentional with my time. And while I'm doing the Bank 50 Days Challenge, I'm bringing in new people, drawing in and building, growing the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. And it feels absolutely amazing. So thank you. I did give myself that time. It was lovely. It was really, really nice. We had really good food, really good conversation, really good company. It's actually from my hometown, which is Leeds, another environment. So we grew up in the same environment, which was really, really nice. My accent comes out even stronger. I always say I've got a Melby accent. My accent comes out even stronger. So we were like, did you know this person? Did you know that person? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't know all the people. Yeah, I actually ended up knowing an ex of mine. I'm like, really? But that was funny. But yeah, that environment that we grew up, we had like a bond on that, which was really, really nice. And I know that people are brought into my life for a reason. We don't always know what, but it's just that journey along the way. And I love it. And if I hadn't have taken that time, excuse me, or if I hadn't have been on the dating site in the first place, because I've come off and on, he said he's come off and on it. If I hadn't been in that, then I wouldn't have been open to having that connection. And it was really, really nice. So that in and of itself is like, I want to create that for others, that vision to have that relationship. So I will be having the dating app. I'm going to wait and grow the YouTube channel for the spiritual dating CV, Awaken Soulmates Marriage CV. It's going to be a dating app that doesn't say, so I was the only one in his inbox, which I didn't expect that. And he was the only one in mine. And he said, I didn't put the distance because we're really far, so it would be a factor. Really far, it's like, I can't come up for the day, or, I've got work, I've got commitments, blah, blah, blah. And the level of freedom would not be there to pursue. And he's like, well, I didn't set that to come this far, and I said, you know, I said it for like 15 miles or something radius. And I went, how's that working out for you? Like, being sarcastic as I am, like my sense of humor. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna met you. I was like, yeah, you see, I'm amazing. But just that synchronicity, and that it's just beautiful. I appreciate all of it. I'm not attached to the outcome. I just bask in it. And that was out of my day, out of his day. And it's beautiful. It's just really lovely. So thank you. Robin says definitely growing and up leveling. And sometimes I know Robin as well, for high vibing for you. I know that you've shared on this, the Energy Healing TV, that has felt like anxiety for you. It's like, oh no, it's actually high vibing. And so when the change comes, and the in order for us to transition into anything new, if you set a vision board and that for yourself, and it's not what you want, not what you're experiencing right now, which why would you set a vision board on just what you're experiencing? You want to have some of that on there. But if you set a vision board and you believe in vision boards, and you believe in up leveling, and you believe in growing, then know that it's going to be uncomfortable. However, with the Soul Legacy Journal and this process and using your spiritual journal, I want to support you in having that be as ease, grace, and flow as possible, with the contrast and with the dips. Excuse me. Robin says, my energy's ruined. Robin says, I will be back for the parts I miss. Love you. Love you too, beautiful. Thank you, Robin. So the card for today is Keepers of the Light. I will be on your life as well today, love. I missed it yesterday because I was on my date. I was traveling. Although I could have gone on it because I didn't. It got delayed. I think this is called Cypress Bay. I don't know. Anyway, it's Ascension. I actually pulled this card, and I was actually thinking of the heart, because it's heart chakra healing Thursdays on Robin's Energy Healing TV, where she talks about the chakras and lining your chakras. The main seven main chakras aligned with the spine. And I was like, instead of me saying environment, I was saying it's heart, heart freedom. And so this came out, and it says, move into your true self, rise above the darkness, the light is here. So with the Soul Legacy Journal, right, so that's why I created the Soul Legacy Journal. You want to rise above the darkness. There's a level when you go through that awakening, and you make that transition. It's so beautiful. It's so painful, and it looks, oh gosh, my energy, and it looks like, it looks like chaos. It looks like an emptiness as well. It did for me. Until you fill it in. So this card says Ascension, move into your true self, rise above the darkness, the light is here. I love that. So sometimes we think that we've got to look further afield, but when we look within, everything that we need is there. So Cypress Bay is the light keeper in charge of ascension. So again, I talk about spiritual ascension, spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension, and spiritual alchemy, right? He once served as a priest in Luxor, Egypt, helping those passing on to crossing over into the light. Now he is a presence we can all call on in order to ascend. Ascension means rising up. It reminds us of the story of Christ being resurrected after death. This means that I don't think I'm saying this, Cypress Bay can guide us from the lowest states of being back into the light. Exactly that. With the Soul Legacy Journal, the spiritual journaling process, that's exactly it. Like guiding us from that spiritual awakening to the spiritual ascension and alchemy. His energy is almost like a phoenix. I'll let you see that again. His energy is almost like a phoenix, that of a phoenix, giving us the support to move out of the hell or darkness into a space that supports our growth. And hopefully you'll be experiencing a level of growth with me. Yeah, you use YouTube channel, we watch YouTube on all the things, but this is for you to connect soul to soul with you, connect to soul with your soul family, your soul planets, and your soul tribe. It's beautiful when you can take off the layers and take off the facade and just own it and just be who you are. It's such a beautiful dance. It's amazing. That's the gift that I gave myself, and I wanted to share it with you. So, extended message: the stars cannot shine without darkness. You may have experienced a low state of being, trauma, or depression, but this is a new beginning. Become aware of growth. There is always room for improvement. There's always a sense of presentation now. Also, a sense of presentation now. You may be receiving documentation or certification to acknowledge your growth or experience. And I want to say, for me, that acknowledgement is supporting, as I mentioned, Lindsay Austin. And if you haven't heard me talk about Lindsay Austin, she's a great, becoming even she's a friend of mine, but an even greater friend of mine. We haven't met in person. We just have a really lovely connection, and I can't wait to meet her in person. I've read her book, it's called Flight of a Butterfly. And I learned how to have my book be #1 on Amazon Spiritual YouTubers from scratch. A soul guided influencers compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. Right, leverage, not be burnt out, not be busy, not be broke, all the things. And so I did it for my own book within a week of pre-order on Amazon. So that's on pre-order now, and after the time you can get a free chapter for the book, and you can also, it'll be $5.55. So so you can order it. So I did it for my own book, and I was like, well, nothing is tried and true until you test it. So I tested it out, Lindsay, with this whole experiment of, it was just an experiment to see, because it's a beautiful book. It's already got 5 stars. She hadn't hit #1. She could have easily hit #1 had she known what I know now. And what I shared with her, she hit #1 in 9 categories. So she was best-selling author, not yesterday, the day before. Beautiful. And she put the sticker on there with #1 bestseller, and somebody had seen the process. And you know, that word of mouth, when you're putting yourself in different environments, people just come to you, fill in. And she said to me today, you know, it was such a beautiful process that there's somebody else that asked, you know, would you be able to do that for them too? And I'm so happy and so grateful for that, and for that connection, and for, you know, the proof to be in the pudding of when you're showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. And I said, you know, Linz, I'm really appreciative of that. However, my intention on the Soul Legacy TV, that documentation I'm saying of, and the certification of your own growth, is that, oh well, we've hit #1, and I can help you hit #1. And with the co-author book series that I'm part of, I did the same process, let them know, they went for #1, got it. So 18 of us became #1. So I was like, ah, cool. And I don't want to just be known for that. So I said, I'm not. So the idea behind it is to support my masterminders. So within the Spiritual Biz YouTubers masterclass in the Bank 50K for today's challenge, I'll share with you that I have my co-author book series about spiritual awakening. It's called the Soul Legacy Journal Spiritual Awakening Stories of 365. And so we launched that on my son's birthday every year annually. It's a 7-year co-author book series. And we will take that to #1. But also, I want to support my students in becoming another #1 best-selling author, yes. But the idea behind that is for me to read the books and believe in the books and support my students. Excuse me. So that we've got integrity in the self-publishing industry is what I want to have. And so my book, one of the chapters, one of the principles is integrity-based self-publishing. So I don't want to be known for, oh, well, just helping you have your book be #1 bestseller on Amazon, because I believe in Lindsay's book. I've read Lindsay's book. I'm not saying I wouldn't believe in, you know, somebody that you referred to me, but for me, it's supporting you in becoming that #1 bestseller and really doing your work in the world, really having your gifts. And I was saying to Lindsay, you know, I believe that she's here, and we've met for a reason, for her to support others who and not as confident of sharing their spiritual awakening story, because in her book she shares it raw and real, really raw and real. So that documentation, receiving that documentation or certification to acknowledge your growth and experience, I believe that for me is that. So look for where it Mira, I'm on live. I don't know what that was. So yeah, again, live, right? No editing. What the heck? So yeah. So the reason why she doesn't know whether I'm on live is because I talk a lot anyway. I speak, I record. I'm sat in my living room, which is in the house. My daughter's in the house. Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful. So that documentation, where is it presenting itself for you? So it's important to cherish this time to realize that without the challenges or obstacles you have faced, you wouldn't be as strong or as powerful and as focused as you are today. I did let everybody know that was you in the background, and I am live and it's okay. Sorry, guys. She's like, sorry, guys. You're used to this, aren't you, Mia? From years and years and years, like probably she doesn't know me not doing what I've done, apart from when I came offline to help and heal myself first. But Mia used to literally sit on my knee while I was doing my work and be homeschooled, right? Right. And Mia, if I can still get her to do this, you might not do it. I might have to get my granddaughter to do it. Announce, there's a what? The bodysuit. Yeah, I saw it yesterday. I put it on. I tried it on for my date, and I thought it looked a bit too revealing, so I did. So I took it off. Just helping me find my outfit, so I did it yesterday. Yeah. So Mia's whenever I have a challenge, my 5-day challenge or my boot camp, Mia's announced the winners at the end, haven't you? And I don't know if she'll still do it for us or not.
When is that? Because I don't get my hair until later today.
No, it's not today. Yeah. I love you. So she actually, if you didn't hear that, she said, yeah, when is that? Because I'm not getting my hair done until later today. So I've gone through my 5-day challenge, gone through my boot camp, and at the end of it, Mia will announce like, and the winner is. So we'll pull the name out of the hat. So this business is about that legacy for me, and yeah, she just watches me on a daily. I'm sat in our living room. She just came in to get some clothes and stuff, and she's like, there's that top. I'm like, yeah, I wasn't gonna wear that for my day. It was very revealing. But me going on my health journey for health freedom, yesterday I talked about it, and she said, damn girl. She said, mama, I'm 49 this year in a few weeks, gonna be 50, and modeling what that looks like. So I love it. So it's beautiful when you are comfortable with showing up, speaking out, and serving D. Like, you just do what you've got to do, right? You just be who you are. So that acknowledgement. So again, it's important to cherish this time and to realize that without challenges or obstacles you have faced, you wouldn't be as strong, powerful, or focused as you are today. You are ascending personally and spiritually at this time, and the universe is here to support it. That is beautiful. That is for me. That is for you. And if you know my story, you can come onto my spiritual YouTubers masterclass. You can watch the replay. The story that I'd been on, I dragged she's 19 now, dragged her along the journey, taught her how to read. She was homeschooling. When I first discovered coaching, she was 5, right? So then I was studying, then, I started to build my business, all the things. So I've scheduled out my business for the next 7 years. So I have that freedom to have time with her, spend time with her, and watch me like create my own job and create my own business and how I want to work. She's watched me, she's been involved with it, she's interviewed me on my, if you go to my spiritual YouTubers masterclass, she knows it's out there really, but she cringes. There's an interview where Mia interviewed me when she was 11 and I was doing my summit then, my 49 Soul Speaker Summit, called the #1 Divine Intervention virtual event. I didn't know that I was having a divine intervention. I would have a divine intervention around that time because it was the time that my son passed. So I share my process, the process that I've gone on in my spiritual awakening story, essentially in my spiritual vision YouTubers masterclass, and why I've gone on this journey, and how I was homeless, how I was bankrupt, how I dragged my daughter and my son along that journey with me. So Mia interviewed me. It was my actual first ever interview, and now I do the interview series and do this #1 Spiritual Awakening annual YouTube summit, October through to April. On the binge watch Wednesdays, the 2 middle Wednesdays of the month, 9 a.m, 3 p.m, and 9 p.m, October through to April. And I'm able to sit in that space and bring spiritual YouTubers together, sharing their spiritual awakening story. And I've actually got someone actually that I would love to actually bring on. So yes to that. I'm actually going to do that. I'm actually going to do that and see if you would do an interview with me. That would be pretty amazing. I'll say no more. I'll say no more because there's a lot of spiritual YouTubers that I want to actually interview. I'll say no more. Yeah, so let's do gratitude. Hopefully you've enjoyed the card and you've enjoyed this episode so far. We are going to do this, the Bank 50K in 50 days vibrationally, but let's do gratitude first, right? Because it isn't just about the money. We know that, right? And I never went on this journey. If I went on the journey just running after the money, like they say, the money's in the list. The money is not in the list. The money is in transformation. And when you've created transformation and you've learnt your lessons in the world, I believe in serving, showing up and speaking out and serving deep. I talk so much, right? That my voice is like, really? Are you going to keep on talking? I talked a lot and I did. So I've got to record today. So anyway, the way that we do gratitude, and use this as the spiritual journal prompt for you, for part of your awakening, and that spiritual ascension and that spiritual alchemy. And we dip into that. We have multiple spiritual awakenings, right? So excuse me, the way that I do the gratitude for intentional living, the intentional living codes, this is what I call these 7 freedoms. So I say the intentional living codes: cheers to financial freedom, frequency, and for short it's the 7 freedoms. So I have the 7 freedoms. Call in Jim, where I support you on all of this. So here's what we do. Your code is your own vibration, and what you want to do is alter and raise your vibration. So I say we want to be at the cheers to financial freedom frequency. So we want to rise and reside at the cheers to financial freedom frequency, these 7 freedoms, seeing where you are in your life every single day, checking in, doing a quick check-in, doing a journal with me if you want to. It's a beautiful process. So I say, as use this as a spiritual journal prompt, write this down if you want to. I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I appreciate. So Mia gave me this gratitude stone when she was little, and we used to pass the gratitude stone around with myself and my kids, and say gratitude, or I've done it with partners, just what you're grateful for. It wasn't in this format, but oftentimes people are like, oh, you know, I'm grateful for, but there's a lack in that. Like, I'm grateful for, when they say I'm grateful for, but really they're thinking of the contrast. But when you say I'm happy, like I'm happy, you have that experience of being happy anyway. And sometimes it's like, I don't think I'm happy. So what we do, we say I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I appreciate something in your contribution freedom. You're contributing in your life, work and lifestyle. I'm happy and grateful for something for your health. Happy and grateful and appreciate something for your emotions. Happy and grateful and appreciate something for your environment. Environmental Freedom Thursday, right? Happy and grateful and appreciate something for your relationships. Happy and grateful and appreciate something for your spirituality. Use this as a spiritual journal prompt every day. So you'll have 7 things, and happy and grateful and appreciate for your finances, right? But sometimes people go, I'm not really happy about this. Like, I'm not really happy that I'm single, or I'm not really happy that the relationship that I'm in. And I think I've been in all of the situations, right? So you want to think of a time where you were happy in the past and bring that energy in. And And so a time where you're happy in the present, and I say happy in your predicted future. So meaning that thanks in advance when you're setting your vision board, like for the life that you want to manifest, the life that you want to actually create for reals. Your environment is one of the biggest things that is going to show you what is going on for your subconscious. It might take a little while to catch up, but look at the past, look at the present, and look at the future, and kind of say thanks in advance if you don't feel like. So I'm saying thanks in advance for my bound conversion. I'm saying thanks in advance for my relationship, for my husband. I'm saying I'm in my vibration, in my mind, my body, and my soul. I'm a married woman. Do you know what I mean? That is it. I'm a married woman with my soulmate, who is like the divine match for me. Like hands down, like no man can touch him. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm journaling and you're saying you're happy and you're grateful for, I've written a love list. So I know who he is. I can recognize who he is and who he's not. I can see that in and how I feel. What's important to me, for me, going through relationships before, it impacted my environment greatly. So I won't do that lightly. So that, being happy and grateful and appreciate, you can say thanks in advance as well, and just vibe high at that, like, yay, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful process. So hopefully that helped you as your spiritual journal to do the spiritual journal prompts. And again, you don't have to come onto the Soul Legacy Journal TV, the Soul Legacy Journal TV, the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast. You don't have to. So we're going to do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. If you found the Environmental Freedom Thursday helpful, then do subscribe to the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast. Do share this episode out. Do invite a fellow light worker in for that spiritual business success without doing busy work, without being broke, and without experiencing burnout. Because hello, who the heck wants that? I'm in my living room. My daughter's like coming in and out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just chilling. This is my content. This is my, whether you think it, oh my gosh, really, you need to edit that. Like, you need not to cough in the middle of your episode. Whatever, right? It doesn't, for me, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? So invite a fellow light worker in, subscribe to the channel, click the notification button if you get notified when I go live. You find this of value, so hopefully you will. Just to be raw and real, that is my values, living in alignment, launching, leading, and leaving my soul legacy, becomes that ease, grace, and flow when I don't think, wow, today, when I don't think I have to be perfect. I can just be me. I can just be me and earn a living just being me. It's beautiful, and I can inspire other people to take off that false facade of the influencer status. I say soul guided influencers. So my book is a spiritual YouTubers from scratch, a soul guided influencers compass to leverage your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. So the Soul Legacy Journal, the Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge. And again, we do this in the visible world. We do it in the vibrational world so that you can feel moving from that poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness. I hung around in the ghetto in Leeds, so we were talking about that. It's like, well, did you grow up in here? Where were you? And I was like, dude, I was out. That was me. So I wasn't doing all ghetto-ish things, but that's where I was hanging out with my teenagers. So we want to feel that, and I didn't feel that, right? I didn't know all of what I know now, right? So I didn't have that vision. I didn't see that. That's one of the things that we were talking about. I didn't see the healthy relationships. I didn't know what that looked and felt like. So I wanted to be in an environment where I could have that. So the Soul Legacy Journal is feeling the banking 50K in 50 days first. If you haven't experienced that, you haven't had that level of financial freedom, you don't know anyone that's got that level of financial freedom, this is us and sharing the process together, co-creating that process of you feeling that. People are like, I want $1 million. I want $1 million. I want to be a millionaire. Really? Who are you? Like, what value are you adding to the world? Are you adding that value? How can you add $50,000 dollars, pounds, or euros of value in the world. How can you show up, speak out, and serve deep? This is not about manifesting the money and not doing anything for it in the visible. Like, if you're going to do your work in the world and set up your spiritual business in a way that feels amazing, then that will come. So the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge is, the Soul Legacy Journal is giving you 1,000. It's a game. It's called the Soul Income Game. Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, right? So I challenge you to do it 50 days with me. So it gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros, wherever you are in the world, and you get to spend this vibrational money voucher. If you're in the Soul Legacy Academy, you'll see the vibrational money voucher with the Soul Income Game and the official Soul Income Game and the Trello board. So you'll see the vibrational money voucher, and then you'll see all the links, the masterclass, and all the programs and the bonuses that I've got to actually support you in doing it in the physical world. And so you spend this vibrational money voucher on making memories with your soul clients and your loved ones and your soul tribe, and just being the version of you that's got the freedom to do that, to build that in the environments, watch your vision board manifest, bring it into the now, right? Making memories. You don't get to pay your bills with this money. You want to become from the space of that's taken care of, it's done. And you tithe 10% every single day of £100, dollars, or euros to a worthy cause. Be that person that's got all your bills covered. You've got the freedom to choose, right? And be the person that's giving back. So I tithe 10% to a worthy cause. It's called Cruise Bereavement Care. They helped me. One of their volunteers sat on my couch with me for months, right? Months, every single week. She showed up at my house and supported me and loved up on me, and it was beautiful, and I'm so happy and so grateful that I had that level of support there. Really, really grateful. So donating, that's mine, to my worthy cause. People go, oh, charities and all. Do you know what I mean? Just pick a worthy cause or create a worthy cause. I don't care what it is, just give. And if you want to create your own charity, do that. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. To do that, tithe 10%, right, every single day, even if you don't get to spend your vibrational money voucher. So if you don't feel like you've got time, like, I don't want to focus on the money every single day, Iona, that's fine, and I get it. But if something comes up for you and you want to spend the money, then spend it, right? But you can carry over the money to the next day. But if you start on a Monday, right, and so by the Sunday, you've got to have spent that vibrational money. So by Financial Freedom Sunday, you need to spend the money. I will share on a Sunday what I spend my vibrational money voucher on. So I'll spend mine in a chunk. So if it's like £1,000, pounds, dollars, or euros every single day, and you want to purchase a bigger purchase, then spend it on a Sunday and you can purchase a bigger purchase. So it's a beautiful process. I love it. There's a lot of freedom in that. There's a freedom, there's a feeling of having, it's energy. Money is energy, and it's an energy exchange. So when you build a spiritual business, I want to show you the framework of building. I have a framework for you, and there's freedom within that framework to build the spiritual business model that would be in alignment for you, the times that you want to work, who you want to work with, where you want to work, what you want to write about, building your own author and your authority platform, the spiritual YouTube channel that you want to create and launch and grow. So again, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, the link is in the description and in the pinned comments. I have my book. You'll get a free chapter of the book. You can pre-order the book or order the book, purchase the book. Within that, I have a 5-day challenge. It's at the core of my book, so that's why I teach as well, to do a challenge at the core of your book. So you take readers from your book into your YouTube channel, into working with you, and that's $55. I have a free chapter VIP day to start, structure, and grow your spiritual YouTube channel, and online spiritual business, and launch it with a #1 best-selling book. I'm really excited about that. Really, really excited. So that's a free chapter VIP day, just to see what working with me is like. You'll get access to that if you attend the masterclass. You'll get access to the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. Our monthly call happens on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. It's off the socials. I don't have a group on the socials. When you attend the masterclass, you'll get access to the Spiritual YouTubers community and that actual call where we connect, we co-create and we collaborate with fellow like-minded. I believe that the environments that are online, some of them feel fake, some of them don't feel that great. And I want it to be off the socials, face to face with you. So sign up for that. And that's a free call. It's a networking call. That's what I teach as well, to co-create with fellow soul guided influencers. What else is there? And again, for the co-author book series, if you want to be part of that and share your spiritual awakening story, whether that was through an environment, through a relationship, through finances, through your emotions, I've been through a lot. I'll be sharing multiple spiritual awakenings. I had my home repossessed. It was like, that was a rude ass awakening. Like, I'm in an environment where has allowed me to build the vision of where I really want to be. I didn't believe I'd be in this environment for this long, but it supported me. I'm not unhappy in this environment. Do you know what I mean? So it's not ideal, but it's good enough. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so I forgot where I was going with it. So yeah, you can come to the masterclass, so of the spiritual awakening story through your environment. So if you want to be part of that, it's for my boot campers. I'm gifting one page. For so much boot campers, not every boot camper is going to get part in the book. For a limited time, obviously, it's when the book is running, it's 7 years. And then for my masterminders, there's up to 5 pages in the book that I'm gifting. I'll tell all on the masterclass. You'll find out all of the details. It's a 4-hour training. Again, you can get the replay. And I know it's a lot. However, this stuff takes years to do, and I love leveraging my time, my money, and my energy. And like I said, I've scheduled out my business for the next 7 years, so I don't have to touch it. I literally show up on this live and I'm good. I know that you can click on the masterclass, go sign up, go get registered for the VIP day, sign up for my 5-day challenge that will be delivered to you, drip fed, sign up to whatever it is that I've mentioned. You can go and sign up and I don't have to be there. I will meet you and I will show up at that. I do have live rounds for my 5-day challenge, October through to April again, on the first Monday week of the month. That's it. I know when I want to work and I know when I don't want to work, and I only work one to many. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful model that I know, because I created it but downloaded it. So I will launch, as I write my book, I'll have book launch videos for you. You'll see that in the cards and in the descriptions. Again, my 7-day YouTube challenge, spiritual vision board challenge, is the start of all of this, getting clear on what it is that you want to manifest and filling it in with me on the Soul Legacy TV. For me, that is just a beautiful journey. So I love you. Thank you for spending all of this time with me. It was a lot today. I had a lot to say and hopefully you've really enjoyed it. I love you. I think you're amazing. And again, I'll see you on either Contribution Freedom Monday, Contribution Freedom Thursdays, every single Thursday. Again, no perfection here. And I will see you for Relationship Freedom Friday. Big love. Take care.